Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Cost Explorer. Many times my clients ask me how they can gain insight into their cloud spend. They see that, for instance, their monthly invoice goes up and they don't understand why. The same with AWS Cloud Architects. A lot of us like to work with some compute services, RDS, databases, automation, serverless, a lot of fancy stuff, but we don't really like to dive into cloud spend. Sometimes we just don't understand how to use it effectively. So this video is going to be a high-level overview to everyone interested in learning a little bit about cloud spend data review. So Cost Explorer is the first service we normally want to explore when we want to learn about our cloud spend. In order to access that service, we need to go to Billing and Cost Management section. And when the screen loads, we should see on the left-hand side a Cost Explorer navigation item. So click it, and then you can see we are presented with some high-level chart. The idea behind Cost Explorer is to give you capability to analyze data, gain insights, give you that tool to optimize the cost of your infrastructure. So what we can see here, on the right-hand side, you have a lot of parameters you can configure for your Cost Explorer and dashboard. So you can see the first one is date range, so you can determine what date range you want to cover for your investigation. Then granularity, you have free granularity available, is hourly, daily, and monthly. So for this investigation, I'm going to use monthly. And what we can see here is that the spend patterns on my account, this is a test account that I'm using for random POC work demos. And you can see that these patterns are very unexpected. What happened here is that I started questioning what is actually going on in my spend in March. In February, I paid $13 for my relational database service. But in March, all of a sudden, it went up to 180. It may not be a huge number if compared to some of the clients that actually pay for AWS account, but when we compare to the previous month, the change is huge. So I started questioning what is happening here, and we can see that relational database service spend is increased, but this doesn't really give us insight into what has changed. I wasn't aware of any changes I made to the underlying infrastructure. The database stayed the same, the database version, the servers that were used for this database stayed the same, no change there. So what I did is I started looking into different dimensions. So first, in order to narrow down the data you are presented with, you can pre-select a service. So these are filters. So we can select relational database. Let me try again. Now we can see our numbers only for the database. So you can see this is quite consistent except for March. So in February I paid 13, in April 26, 14, but in March 180. So let me now try to work with dimensions property on Cost Explorer parameters. So what we can see here, we have a lot of dimensions, and from my experience, some of them are more useful than others. So what I normally recommend is this service dimension is the starting point. You need to understand what services are actually being affected, how much you pay per service. But once you actually gain this insight, the next step I normally recommend is look into usage type, because usage type actually can give you insights what actually is happening behind the scenes. So what we can see here is that our regular charge is just for instance usage DB T3 micro. So this is just a test database. I'm using very small database, single AZ, single instance database, and we're paying very low for that RDS. But we can see that in March we paid the same amount, so that hasn't changed, as I said. But what we see here is that all of a sudden I was charged by extended support. And that actually was a trigger to do a further investigation. What it turned out to be is that I was using the old version of MySQL 5.7 that stopped being supported in February. Obviously, AWS sent out an email to me informing me that this is going to happen, but I missed that. And that is what happened then. They actually had to extend that support because they could not upgrade my database on their own. I had to do that myself. So by looking into Cost Explorer, I realized what happened. I looked into my database, upgraded my database, and that was solved. So you can see that in April. Actually, I did that at the beginning of April, so they still charge me $12 in April, but then in the following months there was no charge for extended support. So this is how you can approach your Cost Explorer. It can actually give you insights into your cloud spend from different dimensions, and I find it really useful to approach it that way. What is also very useful are API operations. Let me remove the filter for relational database, and if we go back to API operations, so under service, you can see that, for instance, in here we have I'm paying for skill builder or individual as well. This is a subscription for the learning platform AWS. I will talk about it on another video, but we can see that I'm also paying for EC2, and so actually this is EC2 instances. Let me quickly show you. The price is actually negligible here. It's less than $4. But I don't really know if we had more instances here. What is really handy is to change dimensions to API operation, and that can give you insight into. I wanted to present on today's guide for AWS Cost Explorer. I hope you found it helpful. It was not deep dive, but the intention behind that video was to give you a high level steps on how you can gain visibility into your cost on AWS. If you enjoyed that video, please hit a thumbs up or bell icon. I'm going to work on new videos on my YouTube channel. This is a still new YouTube channel, and I'm still learning how to do that. I've been working as a DevOps architect for many years, and now I would like to share that knowledge with everyone. I've been actually taking part in variety of workshops, conferences, and I thought that this is the right time to actually present my knowledge through different channels. So thank you so much, everyone, and see you next time.